गोपीधर वल्लभ श्री राधे। जयो निताय पतित पावन गौरंगरी, जयो निताय पतित पावन गौरंगरी। प्रभुपाद 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 शिल प्रभुपाद। हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। नंद राम धाम, जयो एक चक्र धाम। प्रभुपाद 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 जय शिल प्रभुपाद।
Audience Prabhus for increasing my confidence to give the class, because hardly somebody dance in the Bhagavatam, Jai Radha Madhav, but today our devotee, they dance just to encourage me. Thank you so much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Narom Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatiruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Desha Tarine Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhuba Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 17 and verse 31. स एतदादावससृज्य चराचरं स्वमायया श्रयया वित्तवर्कया तवेयसोऽयं किल गोप्तं विद्यत कथं नु मां धर्म परो जिगांसति. Now we'll recite. Okay. य एतदादावससृज्य चराचरं स्वमाययात्म श्रयया वितर्कया तयेव सोऽयं किल गोप्तम् उद्यत कथम नुमाम धर्म परोम जिघासति। प्रभु जी। य एतत् आदत् असृज्य चराचरम् स्वमाययात्मश्रयया वितर्कया।
तयेव सोऽयं कितकोऽप्तुमुद्यतः।
तयेव सोऽयं किल गोप्तम् उद्यत। कथम नु माम धर्म परो जिगांसति। माता जी। कहेत दास स्वमाययात्मश्रयया वितर्कया। वयेव सोऽयं किल गोप्तमुद्यत। कथम नु माम धर्म परो जिघांसति. So translation and purport by Jagat Gurus A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the beginning of creation, you created all these moving and non-moving living entities by your inconceivable energy. Through this very same energy, you are now prepared to protect the living entities. Indeed, you are the supreme protector of religious principle. Why are you so anxious to kill me even though I am in the form of a cow? Purport by Jagat Guru Swami Srila Prabhupada. The planet Earth argues that there is no doubt that one who creates can also annihilate by his sweet will. The planet Earth question why she should be killed when the Lord is prepared to give protection to everyone. After all, it is the earth that is the resting place for all other living entities, and it is the earth that produces grains for them. So this is wonderful relationship between Shaktiavesh Avatar Prithu Maharaj, as Prabhupada write in the purport again and again. So when uh, Prithu Maharaj comes under category of living entities, but he was empowered by Lord Vishnu, empowered by the God, and that is called Shaktiavesha Avatar. So, and Mother Earth has her dealing with so many times such avatars of Lord Vishnu. The first time when Kamsa was giving trouble to Devaki and all the kings giving trouble to Mother Earth, and they were the burden on the surface of the earth. The Mother Earth, along with Brahma, all the demigod went to the Shira Sagar, and where Brahma got the first, wireless call from Krishna that I am going to take birth. Shri Radha Gopi Jana Vallabh ki jai, Patit Pavan Gaur Hari ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. And then we saw that Varaha Dev, Mother Earth, is little bit, she is her conversation is little funny here. She said, as a Varahadev, you pull me out from Garbhodaka ocean and saved my life. And now, as a Prithu Maharaj, you are trying to kill me. And I took a shape of a cow. Cow means we should show the compassion. And that's what Mother Earth, she is a cow personified. I mean, whenever she take the personal form, she take the form of a cow. Many times we see in the Shastras as Dhara and Dharani also, when Parikshit Maharaj was dealing with her. So in so many incidences, this Mother Earth was saved. So it is said that in this verse that Krishna has a right to give and Krishna has a right to take. It is not only for this earthly service as a global, Mother Earth is doing so much services, providing the milk, providing the grains, to her the rain comes, so many things, and human beings and all the living entities are nourished. So Mother Earth is not, this purport. This is one side of purport that Mother Earth is telling that you have a right to annihilate and you have a right to withdraw. But if you go deep in the commentaries of Acharya, like Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Also, we celebrated last week disappearance day of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So we were reading some of his things, given by him. Such a powerful Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Bhanu Maharaj, he had too much love about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He has, by the order of Srila Prabhupada, he translated so many books for all of us, just out of love for Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So in the commentary of this Acharya, when we understand the inner meaning of this what earth is saying, we can understand that, Krishna has a power to give the services and Krishna has the power to withdraw the services. So Arjuna, all that Arjuna has a Gandiva. Arjuna could defeated his own grandfather, and what to speak, his own teacher who taught how to defeat others. And Arjuna defeated Jayadratha, he killed. Arjuna killed Karna. So Arjuna was so powerful and he controlled senses. He doesn't have to go to such a verses from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna talk about how the Atma Sakshatkar person, how Rajeta Kim, how he talk, how he walk, and what is his intention while talking, how he give the responses. So many verses in Gita, Krishna talked this, but Arjuna was already qualified, and such a Arjuna could not protect the wives of Krishna from the infidel cowherd boys when he was supposed to protect them. So that's what happened when Krishna empowered us. Sometime Krishna, Radhesham was telling that sometime Krishna empowered us to give classes, empowered us to sing, empowered us to do big services. But when it is not required, Krishna will take. It is not like Krishna is making humiliate us in front of all. So we can see like that, but real father, because Krishna is such a compassionate father, what he's doing when he withdraw the services only because these things are not required now. And, unnecessary. That's what we have to see. What is our adhikar, and we have to speak what is our adhikar, we have to act. That's what adhikar word is in prominent in the dictionary of Vaishnava Acharyas. All the time they talk about this adhikar. So that adhikar word come from here, that Krishna sometimes gives, sometime withdraw also. And now we should understand with our mentor, with our counselors, with our Shiksha Gurus, we should understand that thing. And we can move to other services. There are unlimited services in the house of unlimited being. It is said. So we can move to other services. So Arjuna could not protect that, and Mother Earth is appealing this here. So, so actually when we do the services, we discuss so many times that is not our skill. Prabhupada was talking on the day of Nityananda Tadashi on the Monday. We have heard one class in this week along with all of you here. So Prabhupada is saying Nitya Ananda. Nityananda means who is always, and Anandam is giving a bliss whoever come in contact with Nityananda Prabhu. And that strength, what we talk, it is not stout and strong body. Prabhupada again and again mentioning. He said that strength, what we taught, is about the spiritual strength, and it comes from Nityananda Prabhu, so that we can serve better. That who is the better servitor God than Nityananda Prabhu? He will only the person enthuse us to do the services. Then we have to completely rely on his mercy. Who is more merciful than Nityananda Prabhu? He is so magnanimous, his mercy is so causeless that he do not see patra apatra na dekhi. He do not see who is patra, who is apatra, and continuously, flow of mercy from Nityananda Prabhu. And when we come in contact with that mercy, we should understand I am just instrument. I do not have to do anything here. I am just instrument, and I am the puppet in the hands of the devotee. And that should be the surrender. And again, I don't have a qualification to talk through this. I'm just repeating what this week we discussed with some devotees. So Nityananda Prabhu's hand, we should be puppet like that. In so many incidences, Nityananda Prabhu proved that without mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, without appreciating Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot appreciate the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is very important. So, it is said that Lord again and again protect his devotee. Like he protected in the form of Varaha, Mother Earth. He protected one time. There is a misconception in the Shastra. There is a Haigriva. So there is a Haigriva demon also, and Lord also came as Lord Haigriva. So there should not be confusion. So there are many pralayas. Anyone of you know Prabhu's I please understand, help me to understand. There is naimittic pralaya and there is, partial devastation also. Nitya, naimittic, atyantik, prakruta. And there is a partial devastation. Sometimes the upper three planetary system that is not dissolved, but entire world submerged. So one day it happens that it was not scheduled pralaya, and Brahma ji, because he did so much creation, तो उनको भी कभी कभी थकावट आती है. So थोड़ा सा ब्रह्मा जी doze for some second, and there was first cyber security attack happen in the universe, and all the Vedas from the mouth of Brahma were stolen wirelessly. That was the first attack in this entire gigantic universe. The first time the Vedas were stolen by this Haigriva, and who came then? Which avatar of the Lord? Huh? When Matsya avatar come? Anybody? To save, and that is one thing. Vedas were saved by Lord. And the second thing, when Satyavrat Muni, sometimes people say Satyavrat Muni means the Satyavrat Muni, he wrote Damodar Ashtakam prayer, but some references are there. No, he is different than that Muni. So when he saw the small fish contained in his hand, and fish talked to him, hey Satyavrat, please bring me out. And he put the same fish in the jug, and he expanded, and again he put in the lake. There also expanded, and again he put in the ocean. So that fish told Satyavat Muni, I came for your protection. Now what you have to do? You have to bring the Vasuki and tie my horns with the boat, and I will take all of you, because Brahma has dozed for a second and his pralaya has come. And I mean, within that pralaya, that Matsya avatar of the Lord help actually. So Lord is more eager to protect to us than we. But today I was discussing with His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu in the morning. He was telling that God can come, but we have to prepare our heart. Like, Amrish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni's episode, when Durvasa Muni was going all over the planet to take the shelter, he went to Brahma, and Brahma said, I am dependent on the mercy of Krishna or Vishnu. Shiva, he went to Shiva Loka, Kailash. Kailash said, I cannot protect you because I am also dependent upon the mercy of Lord Vishnu. And when he come to Vishnu, he was not expecting the same answer from Vishnu. He said, Vishnu is not dependent upon anyone's mercy, but Lord disclosed his heart. He said that I am dependent upon my devotees only. Whatever my devotees say, I act. I am a Kataputli in the hand of devotee. That was Lord. As it is, I am telling you from Bhagavatam, Lord says in the shlokas that I am dependent upon the mercy of my devotee, on their pleasure. Then one can say how Krishna says I am Atma Ram. When Krishna says I am Atma Ram, that Atma means self, and in Bhagavatam described that self itself is a devotee. When Krishna is depend upon his devotee, and he can simultaneously become Atma Ram, because Atma or self itself is, the meaning of that self is a devotee. In one reference I heard today and I read today in Bhagavatam, in Durvasa Muni's context, such a nice thing is given here. So he said, hey Durvasa, Amrish Maharaj could not shake when you created that fiery demon from your hair, and he was about to devour Amrish Maharaj. Amrish Maharaj do not care for his body, and he do not shake by that. But I am seeing that you are care for your body more. And what you did, you just travel all over the place seeking for the shelter just to save your body. You are just a Brahmana, but this is Vaishnava. What was his offense? As per the Shastra, you can drink water or you do not drink the water. If you drink the water, it is as good as you are breaking the fast or not breaking the fast, and you are giving his such a punishment, killing him. What kind of thing? You could not take it. So this gives rise to the topic of, one should not be strive for puja labha pratishtha. Last week I was in Boston, and Radhesham Prabhu somebody asked question, he came from Texas, very big preacher, very big professor now, so he was giving wonderful, he asked the question. He said, Prabhuji, I want to ask you that Shastra always says that, puja, labha, pratishtha is a subtle sex life. But it don't make a sense to me, why they are using such a harsh word for what is the connection actually? When we say sex life or sense gratification, is there any connection with puja, labha, pratishtha? I don't make any sense. So by answer, I was thrilled, Naresham Prabhu said, why it is called as a sex life or sense gratification? Because in front of opposite gender, how we behave, we are not most of the time same person in front when we behave with the same gender. And we have to check ourselves actually all the time. One day, to give you context, one day somebody asked my Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that why Shastras are talking so much about sense gratification or sex life. So Radhanath Swami Maharaj said, because all spiritualists and devotees come out of this emotion, they are talking more and more in the Shastras. Everywhere they talk, in their classes they talk, in the Srimad Bhagavatam they talk, Chaitanya Charitamrita they talk. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, if you open the book of Chaitanya Bhagavat, we started reading at the beginning of this year, my God, before going to Chaitanya Leela or Nityananda's Leela, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur making sure his reader is completely purified. And again, this Pujala Pratishta is a Shukarera Vishta, that kind of thing again and again coming in this paragraph. I was thinking when actual Leela will begin. In the purport, if you see, so coming back to what Radhanath Maharaj said, he said, you people don't talk about sex life or sense gratification because you want to do it, and that's what you don't talk it. You don't talk because you do it, and we talk because we want to come out of it. My God. And further explanation when I heard about this, Radhesham Prabhu was telling why it is called as a sense gratification or sex life, this puja labha pratishtha. He said, normal, 3 example he gave. The first example is elephant. When the Mahut tell elephant, you have to uproot the tree. If that it is, research conducted by some universities. So that elephant uproot the tree very normally and just uproot it and go very normally. But if you put some sea elephant around it, the elephant, just to attract and impress that sea elephant, put his trunk in such a way and show that that tree is not coming. And he exerts so much pressure, and after 15 minutes, it uproot. And again, the experiment is conducted. There is no sea elephant around it. And immediately that it uproot and go away as if nobody is seeing me. So that's what happened. One has to so careful. I heard this many times. So my purification I'm speaking today. So, it is said that again and again we have to educate ourselves that am I the same person in front of the opposite gender, and am I the same person when I am with the same gender person? Am I the same? Am I the natural? So minimal interaction for the services, minimal interaction. It was chastisement actually. I was feeling that day, when I heard this. The second example is given of the eagle. It is another, the research is conducted. When sea eagle wanted to choose her partner, she drops some stick from the sky, and he eagle has to come to impress her. So he, in the air only he just jump, and that air only that he eagle just catch hold of that stick in the air. So 3 times when sea eagle see that there is one capable he eagle can catch that stick, she understand that I have to dedicate my life to her. In animal kingdom also this happen, because he has sufficiently impressed me. So, so it has to do with that actually, this impression, why puja is kind of impressing other. Labha, pratishtha, there is some expectation that somebody should, somebody should, give attention to me, and my expectation should be fulfilled. If they are not fulfilled, we contemplate. I was going through such a situation this week, I was unnecessary that negative thought came in my mind. But there is only one solution I saw with one devotee. And in the evening, when I meet that devotee, and by seeing his service, when I praise him, really I try to praise him from my heart. And I saw that there is a complete reciprocation of Krishna. Otherwise, on the day of Nityananda Dashi or any other very big day, Madhava Tithi day, we will be bewildered and we cannot focus on that day if we don't see the intentions of some devotees. We cannot see if we don't see the intentions actually. So it is said that Krishna feel uncomfortable in our heart when there is a there is some problem in our heart. There is so much contamination. So that's what devotee, they have endeavor to clean their heart by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. They always pray to Nityananda Prabhu, Krishna, please, uh, please and please clean my heart, actually. So one day in Gita Nagari, Radhanath Maharaj was sitting with his god brother, Prabhupada disciple, and chanting. And it was a night time, and Prabhupada disciple told Maharaj, do you know, this tree is glowing with the glowworm. What they call? Glowworm? Glowworm. So do you know about this glowworm? Maharaj said, no. Maharaj said, first time I got such a purport on the glowworm. So he said that there are some some glowworms are like, exerting their pressure and it is beyond their capacity and producing the light. So it is like they are impressing. There are many male glowworms that are trying to impress the female glowworm. Maharaj said, I never heard such a thing. So Maharaj said, this is a big lesson for the life. So we have to always think, I am not having any adhikar. I am just speaking so that I will behave like that. Just I will remind myself. Sometimes Bhagavatam, I think it is for others. It is actually for ourselves. Today, Gaurang Darshan was telling, when we say envy, so envy, other people will not get affected. We will get affected. So when we say envy, we are envying ourself only, not with others. We are not with others actually. So such a point, my God. I mean, we cannot envy others. Yeah. So that was the point he was making. So I just narrate two stories and stop. And all of you know that how this was about subtle sex life or sukshma puja labha pratishtha, which can keep us in this material world. We should not take lightly. Literally, when Prabhupada say that subtle sex life is like puja labha pratishtha, that has some meaning. And when this devotee asked the question, I understood, my God, it is actually sex. It is worse than the actual engagement. We see the actual engagement of Pururava. The Pururava just by, dhyayato vishayana punsa, sangaste shupa jayate, sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho bhi jayate. He heard from Narad Muni that, Urvashi, that there is one king Pururava, and Narad Muni was not intentionally telling about him. There is one Pururava. By hearing Pururava, the Urvashi got attracted to Pururava and she came down from her planet. And when she came down from her planet, there was a proposal between them. There was an agreement between them that with the three conditions she can sustain in this planet. The first thing is that she has a lamb, and these lambs are dear to her heart, as good as her own babies. And if they lost, immediately she will give the company of Pururava. The second thing is that I am from the planet, heavenly planet. So if you don't feed me basmati rice and some ghee, I will go. That kind of quality rice means it is given there. And the third thing she said that if I will see you without cloth, anytime, I will immediately leave actually. So immediately leave this planet. So these are the three conditions. And the Pururava completely forgot the aim of life and completely indulged in sense gratification, gross way, that one day what happened, Indradeva said, where is that Nrutyangana Urvashi? Our entire darbar is very vacant without her. Urvashi Virahename, something like that, he said. And he called Ashwini Kumar. He said, Ashwini Kumar, go down and find out where is she. And Ashwini Kumars, what they did? They said, okay, we will go. And they know these three conditions and they devise a plan and they stole that lamb. And when the lambs were stolen, Urvashi was devastated, this Pururava was devastated, and he was not having a sense that there was no cloth on his body, and he started chasing the lambs and those Ashwini Kumaras, and Urvashi completely disappeared from the scene. And she disappeared, and Pururava did tapasya. And do you know, how the man can degrade to do the tapasya. It is very easy to say, Yugal Kishore Prabhu said, when others are hearing. That tapasya, what he, by doing tapasya, people want Vishnu. And here Vishnu appeared in uh, in front of him in the sacrifice. And Pururava is telling that, hey Vishnu, my only desire to have Urvashi in my life. He's asking to Vishnu shamelessly. Dhruva Maharaj understood that I am asking the broken pieces of glass. That is the position of Dhruva. If you see, if you compare the tapasya of Dhruva Maharaj, if you compare uh, who is a blind king? Dhritarashtra. The Dhritarashtra, then Hiranyakashipu and Dhruva Maharaj. If you compare the three tapasyas of what they did or what they wanted, this Dhritarashtra, blind Dhritarashtra wanted kingdom on this earthly planet. That is manageable. And the second thing was, who was second? Hiranyakashipu wanted the kingdom of three planets, three lokas. He wanted to be Amar on three lokas, so that everybody say, yeah, you are the boss of three planets. But if you see Dhruva was beyond that. He wanted such a position which is beyond Brahma, the kingdom beyond Brahmaloka. But only big thing, devotee can come with, what is that they said? Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. If you have desire, or if you don't have desire, if you have desire for liberation, you can just worship that supreme personality of Godhead. So such a hope-giving verse actually. And this Dhruva is asking such a kingdom, but only he purified because his direction was good. Suniti's direction, Niti, Radha Govinda Maharaj said Niti. Suniti means who has a values and virtue in the life. And Suruchi means immediate pleasure. Immediate pleasure actually. Succumb to the immediate pleasure. That was Suruchi. But the Suniti gave such a nice direction. If you see Suniti, what she said in that paragraph, she said, hey Dhruva, Swayambhu Manu got his power by worshipping the Supreme Lord. Brahma got his power of creation to worship the Supreme Lord just by that Brahma, and he is only the person, he can give you the power. So you go to the jungle and worship. I heard. So I was asking Radhesham Prabhu last week, how did Suruchi was such a, is that this is orchestration of Lord's plan, or is that Suruchi is, living in Vedic India or Bharata Varsha, so that, it was spontaneous to speak about such a things in Bharata Varsha. She said, no, there is one reference where it is said that Suruchi was a pure devotee of the Lord. She was a pure devotee. There is no this thing. And the beautiful thing is that when Dhruva came back and they were going to bring back Dhruva, Suniti was going. And Suruchi was actually envious to Dhruva initially. But Suniti said to Suruchi, just go and give back our child. Suniti was knowing that entire world will describe the story of Dhruva Maharaj in the future because he got the darshan of the Lord. But if I am envious to Suruchi now and I am going alone, what people will think, Praja? This Suruchi is too much envious to this Dhruva. That's what Suniti is not taking me with her. But she was so mature devotee of the Lord, Suniti. She said, we will go together. That is the maturity actually. She was taking her together so that nobody could blame Praja and nobody in the future could blame this Suruchi. So that is the Niti man, this Suniti was. And what happened is, Dhruva forgave everyone actually. So we should not say all the time that because she, we say sometimes because she, she offended Dhruva Maharaj, she was burned into fire. She was burned into fire, right? Or brother Uttama. Yeah, she also burned into fire. We should not always connect it, but we should understand other side also. Dhruva is not so cruel, praying to God, hey Bhagavan, mere saath aisa kiya hai, aap unke saath aisa karo. No, Dhruva was not like that actually, at all. One should not give this example to emphasize on that, what I am saying. Of course, that might be reason, but their own karmas are also there. One day, one devotee died in Vrindavan. If I tell you such a pathetic condition, very famous devotee, I forgot the name, Narayan Prabhu or something, our own god brother from Chaupati. He was a chaperone brahmachari. He was I don't remember, sorry, I don't remember that part. But he was going on bike and he entered in Vrindavan, and one truck hit him. Nothing happened, His bike fell, he fell, nothing happened to him, and truck went. Some or other, that bike failed in such a way, and it was on the slope, and he was taking his bike, and while taking his bike, his head, stuck, I mean, hit it on one, I mean, there was an accident, and he stuck on some big rock which was sharpened, and immediately die on the spot. The first time, this is the first death we describe in Radha Gopinath temple, first incidents actually after many days. The report go to Radhanath Swami Maharaj that everybody bewildered in the Sunday class. They are talking why Krishna could not save this devotee in his own dham Vrindavan. And Maharaj did not speak anything to any management people. He was about to give Sunday feast class. He came and he asked a question to the public. He said, I was going to ask you one question today. Can you tell me, if you are going on your bike and you have done nice bhakti in your life, you are nice with everyone, you have very clean heart, and you please the Lord and Lord's devotee, and your bike stuck somewhere, and there was an accident, and you died on the bike, and Krishna is taking you back to Godhead right now. And some other situation that you fell on some rock and you are in the coma for 10 years, what you will choose? Everybody chose the first option, that we want to go back to Godhead. This thing happened. So Maharaj resolved this quickly, So many talks were going on. Many big philosophers were also talking. I heard that how Krishna should have protect him. So Krishna has own way of protection. So in this Pururava episode, when this sea is gone, I'm sorry, I'm jumping from too many things here, because yesterday night only I came to know that I have to serve Shamkishore Prabhu and all of you. So in this Pururava episode, when she came, Pururava saw this Urvashi, because we talk as a society girl, She was seated with some 4 men in the planet Earth. And Pururava saw from the distance. He was so shameless. He did not understand that they are also with her. But he went her and told, you have to be with me. And Lord Vishnu told me. Urvashi told, because Lord Vishnu appeared to you, I will be happily stay with you, but only once in a year. And 364 days, Pururava was mad for Urvashi, just looking when Urvashi will come. And one day Urvashi cheated. She sent some other, side heroine, from other planet, so that she can entertain Pururava. And Pururava understood. So that what somebody can degrade in such an extent, in gross thing. But his gross thing can be rectified. Pururava came out of it and he started worshipping Lord. That's what his name is in Srimad Bhagavatam. But if it is subtle, so difficult, puja, labha, pratishta. There was one story of Bhartuhari. I was discussing with our Prabhu, Krishna Kumar Prabhu, that Bhartuhari, some sage gave him, what is that? Fruit. I heard fruit actually. And said that if somebody eat that fruit, what will happen? He will live young forever. And Bharturi was happy. He gave that food to the queen. He thought that this queen will be young forever, so that I become old and I can describe her beauty. On her beauty, he wrote one poem of 100 lines that is called as Shrungara Shataka. Shrungara Shatak. I don't know what kind of words were there in that. Shrungara Shatak, about a queen's beauty. And after that, what happened? That queen had some other paramour, and she gave that fruit to that person. And he was a wrestler. But that wrestler has no attraction for the queen. He had some other girlfriend, and he gave that fruit to that girlfriend. And that girlfriend came to she said, why I should be, looking good, or why I should be young. She gave that fruit to king again. And then king was bewildered, my God. And this is the first reverse engineering. In corporate world, they talk about reverse engineering, or going to the root, the rule of 5I. They called, right? The first 5I rule in the kingdom of this Bhartuhari. Bhartuhari asked, who gave you this fruit? She said, my paramour, and he's a wrestler. He called a wrestler. Who gave you this fruit? She said the queen. And he completely frustrated. The queen who I am loved, so much. So this is the flickering and cheating pleasure of this world. Whom I loved so much, what she has done? She has cheated me like that. And out of frustration, the king who wrote the Sringara Shataka, now he wrote the Vairagya Shataka. The prayers of Vairagya Shataka. So that's what the Srimad Bhagavatam describe about his King Bhartuhari in the ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, full of story, so that Srimad Bhagavatam is preparing us to take part in Krishna Lila. So that is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. One has to again and again contemplate it on this ninth canto, step by step. That's what Prabhupada is emphasizing. It's not like directly we are jumping on Krishna Lila and forgetting the small book or medium book of Prabhupada. If sometimes the devotee, I'm sorry to say, but some devotee has very basic questions not answered. Of course, with our services to devotee, these questions will be answered. But one should read the small book of Prabhupada. We don't have to neglect. We may have big books at our home, Vidagdha Madhav, some big books. And without reading Prabhupada's small book, if you have started Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, we have to go back. They are not neglected. All the devotees could preach in America that time because they were reading Prabhupada's small book. And I saw the big preacher when I meet them, and they have 100 people in their Bhakti Ruksha, 50 people in their Bhakti Ruksha. Nicely, they are taking care. They told me only one formula. One has to dedicate their life to reading the small book of Prabhupada and understand the philosophy and care the devotees, of course. So, it is very essential actually, because Prabhupada is making our heart purify so that Krishna will come and sit in our heart. So when we attracted by the mercy of the divine couple, Radha Gopijana Vallabha, then we'll come out of this gross sense enjoyment and also the subtle sense enjoyment. And as, Mother Earth here, pleading for the protection from King Pruthu, and Pruthu he is going to protect Mother Earth now. So we are going to see in further verses how he protected Mother Earth. So that way we can beg to the mercy of Lord Nityananda, and Nityananda has that power to protect Patra Apatra Nadeki. Without seeing any qualification, the Prabhu Nityananda is making our qualification, and he come. Our Srila Prabhupada came as a representative of Lord Nityananda, making our qualification so that we can deep dive in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness and share to the others. Sharing to others is very important. Last week, one more point I heard. When we hear anything, it is not about how many hours the lecture we hear, how many hours we read, but we have to assimilate those things and see that what are those one point I used in my life. So that is real reading. Otherwise, reading is also Prujalabha Pratishtha. If you are not assimilating any point and trying to connect to our day-to-day life and trying to implement in our life, so we have to implement that in our life actually. So that is very important. So Radheshyam was telling that we have to tell 3 people whatever we read. Then it registered to our brain and it gets some mercy of these 3 people to us because we serve those 3 people. And some desire will get in our heart that now I have to implement this in our life. And there the implementation started. And the best thing is to get up early in the morning and contemplate on Shastra or Mangalarti, the mercy of the Guru. Because early morning hours, any ocean, when the waves come, the waves bring out so much contamination outside. All kind of plastic, all kind of woods, all kind of stones, and all contamination and garbage the ocean is throwing early morning. And then noon time, you see, the ocean is bringing that contamination with the waves, but the waves have no power to throw them out. So early morning hours, this is observation of scientists, they throw so much contamination out. So this is the big thing that early morning hours we can come, and if it is not possible to come in temple, in our own home, we have a temple and there we can worship Lord, do Mangalarti and chant with our family early morning. Then because Brahma is doing tapasya early morning. It is said in one Puran that when we don't get up before sunrise, what will happen is whatever punya and whatever arajit wealth or whatever we acquired in this life, we are losing that. We are creating inauspiciousness in our life. So this is never to be compromised. Bhakti Charu Maharaj was very disciplined. Bhanu Maharaj, why is such a popular devotee in Chennai? He never missed Mangal Arati. He had no disciple. He never took disciple, actually. So Bhanu Maharaj is such a strong personality in our movement, and our own acharyas, Vidyamana acharyas, they never miss Mangal Arati. But at least as a grahastha, we can have Mangal Arati at our home. We can have some time, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock also. But before that, we can chant. And nowadays, if I say we can rise before the sun, it is so easy. It is 7:29, sun is rising, sometimes 7:30. But don't take it literally. So we can get up early, so early. Then things will become so, we will not offend anyone actually. Early contemplation, early shelter, where Brahmaji is doing tapasya, then, it is a lot actually. Lot mercy will flow from all the direction. All Devi Devatas, they also are very active, and they will give their blessing to do bhakti of Lord Krishna. So, of course, we are not dependent upon that, but still, as gopis worshipping Mother Katyayani to get the favor of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in that mood, we have to take, their blessings actually. So that's what I wanted to talk about, the appeal of Mother Earth to King Prithu, where she's telling that you saved me as a Varahadev, and now also please save me. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. It is 9:18. Sorry for going over time. If anybody has any reflection to add, they are welcome.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Such a nice class, Prabhu. I think, the point that you mentioned, reading and
Yes.
and implementing, and I'm really grateful for all the
Prabhuji is
points
asking,
brought out today.
Parang Darshan Prabhu was telling that when we envy ourselves, we are not envying others. I will try to find out as it is what he said, so that I will not make mistake in presentation. So, yeah.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Prabhu.
He said that whatever difficulties come in our life, they are coming as per our past deeds. And we come when we think that somebody is neglecting me. One day I thought, oh my God, in 1 week, I was completely neglected. But when I connected that, I praised that devotee, I saw the feeling of Krishna consciousness little bit in the heart. And I thought Krishna is reciprocating because I'm connecting with the devotee. But early morning, I thought this devotee is neglecting me, and it created some vacuum in my life. So much vacuum, in my life. So whatever difficult are there, that is our own past deed. So envy is not others for other, but envy is for, it is called self-envy. So Gauranga Prabhu was telling, when we say karma yoga, so actually it is not karma yoga. It is actually nishkama karma yoga, but we don't use that word nishkama karma yoga. Yoga means to connect. So that's what it is, nishkama karma yoga. So we can't envy anyone. We are envy ourselves, he said. What happened? When we envy, our own mental peace get disturbed. When we hold that envy to others, so others are not at all affected, and we get affected more. So that's what we are envy ourselves only. Now, because we have some expectation, we are normal. Our constitutional position is as, we are part and parcel of Krishna, but we have some expectation from other. And that's, we are competing. Our mind is jumping towards that expectation. We are, as a self, we are normal, but we are hearing to our mind, and that means we are envy our own self. Envy is a kind of, I want to be better than others, actually, in envy. So this is very negative emotion. And Gauranga Prabhu further added one more point. He said, forgiveness should not be there in the dictionary of devotee. Why should it be there? Why I have taken offense? That is only the thing. Why I have taken offense, first of all. Devotee may never take as an offense. So that is, so he already forgiven. So one day, one devotee jumped in the, river Yamuna, and one Swami was there. And while, showing some gymnastic, his leg touched to the west of the Swami and his own Guru Maharaj. And he recognized, my God, we have to take, Sri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma, and I touch my feet to the west of my Guru Maharaj. He came crying. The Jamuna has the water, and his tears mixed with the Jamuna water. He cried practically, came out and told Guru Maharaj, I am very sorry. Please forgive me. He was crying in front of all. And he said, you are already forgiven. So no, they don't hold it actually, the big soul. So he said that, there is no word of forgiveness as there is no offense taken by devotee. So forgiving should not be difficult for the devotee. So he said that if we are not forgiving others, we are not sadhu. And if we are not, and if you are not giving up the things of this material world, we are not a Mahatmas. That was his said. Okay, thank you so much. Anybody want to add anything from somebody
Yes.
place something? How much time do you spend reading Srila Prabhupada's books every day? Oh, Narottam Nitai Prabhu. Okay, Hare Krishna. So actually,
Yes.
due to mercy of some devotee, what I do, I will tell you. One should not tell his sadhana what they are doing, but sometimes we have to speak actually, because we have 9 to 9:15 Bhagavad Gita reading with some student and some corporate people. So what I do, one verse at least I read that day, and not only Prabhupada commentary, but commentary of Baldev Vidyabhushan and commentary of our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Wonderful commentaries actually. These both. But at least one has to read Bhagavad Gita twice and thrice, and now we are reading because Prabhupada commentary are so simple. If you are getting bewildered so much, I was having nice association with our Jayananda Gaur Prabhu, wonderful on phone. He gave me nice direction actually about reading Prabhupada books, and other commentaries also. He has so nice understanding, wonderful understanding. One has to check with him also. He's there in the audience, about reading this commentary. But sometime, I asked him, Prabhuji, should I go too much deep and all? He told me which commentary is good, and sometimes Acharya makes some other words in the commentary. So we have to be careful to understand in the current context. But Prabhupada made it very simple. So, and Bhagavatam actually, daily we have to read Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam will bring us from Shoka, Moha, Bhaya. These three things, Bhagavatam will keep us away actually. So Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita we have to daily read, and I am trying at my best to not in screen time. We have to, sometimes you can read in the screen, but why to increase screen time if you have hard copy? Read in hard copy. That is very important. Make a notes and share with 3 people at least. Whatever you read, you can talk to, if you are girls, or talk to your wife, talk to your kids, the same point, and talk to some other person. ऐसा लग सकता है प्रभु जी को आज क्या हुआ है, if you talk so much about Bhagavatam as it is, ऐसे लग सकता है लोगों को. But tell that I read from Prabhupada's book, and then you can contemplate how I can implement this thing in our life. That is very important. Otherwise, reading is just reading. Shushka. It is called Shushka reading if you are not implementing those points in our life. And one can have marathon kind of reading when, Prempali Mataji and Prabhuji has arranged some marathon reading. And now for Sunanda Gopal Prabhu's brother also we have reading 9:30. So such kind of marathon reading can also happen with devotee. If you don't get time, then part of marathon reading. Or one should be part of some group actually in reading. Our many of our temple residents have their reading groups. Many of our Bhakti Luksha leaders have their reading group. We can part of daily reading group. One should not skip. I saw when you skip because only one person join, it has a large effect actually. If one person is also there, why we need Puja Labha Pratishtha to see, go and participate list? I have only one person hearing. No, that is not our motto. Read means if you have sincerity, we can do for one person also reading. Sometime in our morning chanting, only two person join, one person join, but we have to keep that line open. As a professor, they keep their work hours open so that student can join and they can counsel them. So we can also keep our line open in the morning if somebody want to join, and you can chant with them. It is very nice actually to chant with devotees. So and reading helps our chanting. So in essence, what I'm saying, we have to read not only for preparing classes, but for ourselves. From even one verse can do. One verse of Prabhupada, if you contemplate throughout the day, that is do. Uh, and while you have to keep your Krishna book near your bedroom, I mean, where you sleep. And if you have table lamp, and without fail, one has to read Krishna book before going to bed. I saw, I mean, I am not a great person, but somehow or other, by the mercy of this Prabhu's near surrounding me, I started reading Krishna book. One day I did not read it. I got such a horrible dream that I am in, some Samshan Bhumi, and there was a burning of so many corpus and so many things. That day also I thought, what happened? I just slept that night without reading. And that doesn't mean that I am so regular in the reading, but I'm trying my best actually. So yes, Prabhuji.
Because when we read it, we need to adapt. Yes, okay, there are interpretations there, but at the same time, since we've seen this
Yeah.
compared to like many other
Yes.
so how important is one to be motivated first and always see like, what is the take home message for me? Like, can a devotee be motivated to beat and use of time start?
Yeah, you got nice point, Prabhu. Yeah, you are right. I'm just correcting what I said, first of all. I'm sorry for that. Only for implementation, if you go and if some dynasties came, no, I cannot implement this thing, right? Dynasty. I'm just taking my point back. I'm elaborating on that. So yeah, that is also, we say, Are, there is no motivation for implementation. Why should I read? We can discourage for reading. I'm sorry, person in the Zoom also. I'm taking some words back. So Bhagavatam, as Prabhuji said, Bhagavatam will purify us. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We have to read Bhagavatam because this is order of my Guru. My Guru told to read it. Why we chant? My Guru told to chant. I don't have any qualification. That's what we chant. That's what we read. That is the first motivation to read. At least I'm serving my Guru by reading it, serving Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is a Guru for everyone, Param Guru. So that is the first motivation. That is the first service of reading Bhagavatam. And of course, so implementation wise, few implementation cannot take place immediately. Gaurang Darshan Prabhu one told in one of my questions, Prabhu, last year what I read, I cannot content, I cannot memorize how I can implement. He said one nice point. He said, last year also you ate something, pizza, pasta, or something in your home, nice gulab jamun or something, but that nourishes you at that time. Though you don't remember, but that particular moment, that particular cuisine or whatever, prasadam nourishes you. So similarly, Bhagavatam is like that. When you read Bhagavatam, at that time, Bhagavatam is nourishing us, though we don't understand the potency of that Bhagavatam. And of course, don't tie exactly all the time to implementation. Otherwise, we can land up in such a situation. If there is no implementation, I will not read. The one word of Bhagavatam also purify, it is said, one Acharya. Not only entire chapter, not only entire, half chapter or half verse, one word also can purify us. So in that spirit, one can read Bhagavatam. One has to marry with Srimad Bhagavatam. Our in Pune, Vishnu Chandra Swami Maharaj, our Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj is our his guru. Rasika Bhuvi Krishna Prabhu's guru came, and Radhesham Prabhu had conversation. He was telling that who said brahmacharis are not married? Brahmacharis are married with Srimad Bhagavatam. So Grihastha should also can marry with Srimad Bhagavatam. That is actually first marriage, with Srimad Bhagavatam. So these words are so purifying. Don't only wait for that encouragement implementation when I do, but we can note the point and we can have a weekly checkup what I read. Otherwise everything will remain in this iPad or everything will remain in our notebook, and we can see that how, or in this week so many incidences happen in your life, so you can connect the dot with that implementation point and cross check whether I behaved in that situation maturely or not. And that's what we have to do. And and try to connect it, because it's just cyclical way. Nowadays people are following agile. In one iteration they do mistake, they're allowed to do mistake, but next iteration they are fixing those mistakes. So mistakes are mistake if you are not repeating those. So similarly we can take implementation point in such a way we can note them down, not necessarily immediately will implement. Some things are, people say in our project management term, they said some benefits can realize in short term, some benefit can the value of the project can be realized by long term, and sometime after the product come, after 6 months you can be realized. So some values and some these wisdom can be realized after so many days also. But one should not be frustrated for because I have not implemented currently, because Bhagavatam words itself will purify. It has a potency to purify, because Krishna sadamupagate dharma jnana divisa. That Krishna when went Puranar ko adhunoti, to Krishna came himself again in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. These words are potent actually. This is not ink impressed on some paper. So this is actually Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking with us. The Bhagavatam is compared with the sun. Bhagavatam is compared to the mature fruit of Vedic knowledge. And Vasudeva has wrote Bhagavatam at the maturity of his life. But Vasudeva is in later incarnation. What maturity? The Vasudeva has written, it is said that at the maturity of his spiritual life, and when he understood that I have done two mistakes. I have overemphasized on dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And second thing, what I have done, I have not sufficiently glorified the supreme personality of Godhead. And then Bhagavatam took birth. So we can take Bhagavatam in that spirit actually. And as Prabhuji said, yes, don't only caught up in the implementation. So I am taking that, putting a point. I have so many points, but Krishna should inspire me, or with a devotee's mercy, I should go and visit those points and check whether I am, implementing those or not actually. Or we can write in code word. I used to write in code word so that nobody check it, So sometimes we shy to show all these things to everyone. So in my books, I was writing in code word what need to be this thing actually. And it was really helping. Because we are a sadhana bhakta. You may all have pure devotee, but sadhana bhakta means doing so many mistakes, again rising, again doing so many mistakes, again rising. That is sadhana bhakti. Govind Prabhu said, bhakti executed by contaminated mind is sadhana bhakti. That's what these three bhaktis were there, in Srimad Bhagavatam. Mother Devahuti got interaction with his, son Kapil Muni, Kapil Dev, and he's talking about bhakti in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So he could not have talked that actually. So sadhana bhakti actually, failing, rising is there. So one has to have schedule and all. One should not say, oh, this is mechanical. Prabhu schedule kyun chahiye, card kyun chahiye? It making my bhakti mechanical. It's not like that actually. Many big devotees have their schedule. Sannyasis, why not we grahastha follow something? Having some organized thing. Becoming organized doesn't mean that ecstasy and spontaneity will lose. Because we are sadhana bhakta. Now we may think sometime I am so mature, I don't require schedule. I don't require any planning. But planning is required actually. Planning is required. Bhakti Charu Maharaj, if you see, so disciplined, so spontaneous devotion, planning wise, number one on the planet. Number one when he planned for so many of his project actually. So that's what I can say. But you can add, Prabhu. I'm sorry, I'm just beating around the bush. Yeah, but that's good you told me. Otherwise, the message was something different, which I spoke earlier. And yeah, officially class is over, but Manmohan Prabhu want to say something, add something.
Prabhu, very nice class,
Got
Prabhu. Thank you
some
very much.
comment or
Prabhu,
what.
wow.
Manmohan Prabhu was
You
raising
can
hand,
hear me,
maybe it
bro?
was accidentally. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You can hear me?
Two things. Both any part that you said is very, very.
Hare Krishna.
That
anger is like holding the coal, that you want to hurt someone, but with the hot coal, if you are holding it,
Wow, this is great
it is
example.
hurting you first.
Yeah.
So that is said about anger, but the same thing can be compared to envy also. Because in envy, we feel like, oh, I'm just wanting to be better than someone else. Right? Somehow you feel like it is not that a big of an offense. But you are actually envying yourself. You're putting yourself down by behaving this. That's what I think I
Yeah.
said, right?
Yes, yes.
That you're putting, you're envious to yourself. When you're envying someone else, is actually you are detrimental of your own self.
Yes.
You're
Wonderful.
that is that something that was very
Yeah.
and one thing I wanted to just our experience here, one sharing and reading Bhagavatam is how potent, and when the devotees come across and share about Krishna and lifestyle and healthy lifestyle or spiritual lifestyle. One family was visiting here, they were doctors, the person was a doctor. And he was actually from Kolkata, Bengali. So when we started discussing about, we don't eat this, chanting, we have daily call, and they were so happy and they were accepting. When we took them upstairs for prasadam, they took nice prasadam. They said, we visit so many temples, no one tells us what to do, right? No one shares.
Wow.
And our experience is also there. Any other temple you go to, there is okay, vigrahas are there, deities are there. You go, you put your list, Krishna or whoever it is, I am giving you this much donation. Please take care of my such and such problem. If not, then thank you for giving me what you have given. But what are you taking home as a take-home message, as a sadhana, life change, or anything? So, reading Bhagavatam internally gives you inspiration also, like how you check yourself every single sentence when you're reading. You're already checking yourself.
Yes, wonderful.
Okay, I should do this, I should do this every single time. It is already giving you speaking. Bhagavatam is speaking.
Yes.
And that was a really very enlivening, first-hand experience that I encountered in this temple. That they were very happy. Now they are part of reading also. They live about 2-3 hours away from there. So that's how people's lives get transformed just by being in contact with, Prabhupada's books. Devotees who are trying to follow the Prabhupada so sincerely.
Yeah.
That's how they get benefit.
Wonderful. I'll just add one to Narottam Prabhu before you go. What one thing helped me? Sometimes you cannot connect the dot between Bhagavatam. So I have one book which is written by Purna Pranja Maharaj, Purna Pragya Maharaj. He has written Bhagavatam in story format completely. This much thick book. Before reading Prabhupada, commentaries and all, if you read that and simultaneously read that Prabhupada thing, you will connect the dot between all these stories. You might be thinking, I'm talking so many stories and all. This book really helped me. He did not deviate from single word of Prabhupada. And another, this is a great thing to do. Purna Pragya Maharaj, he wrote a story told by Purna Pragya Maharaj, about this Bhagavatam. I can share with you sometime. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't see what the mundane concepts in the spiritual domain.
Right.
But then the Bhagavatam says that Rukmini Devi had a leaf of a twig of parijata, and then Satyabhama was always she thought that she didn't have it, and then now Krishna when he went to the Satyabhama with to the Indraloka, and then he knew what was in Satyabhama, and he got a whole tree of parijata there.
Yeah.
So from a spiritual perspective, I understand, we cannot Lord's pastimes, activities,
Yeah.
his queen, they're all entirely in the spiritual domain. There's no envy politics. But from a monetary perspective, if at all somebody looks at it and says, oh, okay, here did Satyabhama envy Rukmini Devi, then is that the only answer is that one should not be?
Yeah, what I heard about Satyabhama, that Satyabhama, she had, I mean, Satyabhama is a wife of Krishna. So in that perspective, she was thinking that she has a full faith that Krishna will, Krishna will fulfill my desire. Rukmini was happy with the single leaf, but she was completely having confidence that Krishna will fulfill my desire of giving the tree. But is there mention of any envy? Satyabhama wanted more than Rukmini? Yeah, no. So she was happy with her actually, her devotion. Like somebody told me that I asked Gauranga Prabhu once again, Prabhuji, these 4 ashramas and 4 varnas, are they one above other? He said in the Vedic time, Shudra was happy what he's doing. Vaishya was happy what he's doing, and also Kshatriya was happy. Or it is not, and even what to speak of that, he told there are 5 kind of rasas, Shanta rasa, Dasya rasa, Parikiya Madhurya Bhav, Swakiya Madhurya Bhav. All these rasas, the prominent character in these rasa, who relishing those rasa, they are happy there what they are doing, and they are not competing with each other in these rasa. So these stories within the Parikiya, because both are, sorry, Swakiya Madhurya Bhav, Rukmini and Satyabhama also. So as a husband, Rukmini was satisfied with 1 leaf of Parijat, and Satyabhama was happy with the entirety of Parijata, what I heard. And she has a knowing that my husband will fulfill my desire, in fullest extent, he will do it for me, and that is my satisfaction. But there's no envy, what I heard actually. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your blessing to me. Whatever I spoke now, I have to literally follow. Otherwise, it is just a parrot-like things, And yeah, one thing just to conclude. Another thing which Rajesh Ambhu just spoke last week. I'm just repeating everything. He said that envy and all this lower nature come because we are not keeping us busy. We should not give such a small gap to Maya. Immediately we have to, engage ourselves in some activities of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it is very difficult. We have to plan for 26 hours or, 48 hours when we are planning for 24 hours Krishna consciousness. So that much. So having a burden of service is good, instead of not having services and all, burden is good. But initially, that doesn't mean that initially some devotees we give burden of services. It is not like that. Those who are mature in Krishna consciousness, for them, yeah, burden for ourselves, not for others, to relieve the burden. Yeah. So keep reading, keep sometime, in the morning we can have, uh, in the morning we can have Gajendra Moksha prayers and all actually on our tape. I can forward you if you all want those prayers. Gauranga Prabhu recently nicely documented all the prayer, and during taking a bath, you can just concentrate on those prayers. We are not becoming scholar here. Nobody is telling you to recite or something. Just keep on hearing those prayers and try to, visualize that Gajendra is us, thanking God, or, praying God intensely in the morning. So many prayers Gauranga Prabhu sent. I will share with all of you his documentary, and it will really helpful. Yeah, it's audio. Just he singing with Tanpura and 3 different tunes. We are not in tunes, not in melody, not in, hearing and acquiring some Sanskrit grammatical knowledge. No, we are just hearing those prayers of Gajendra because he was a devotee. That sense, it will make a great sense. Okay, I will share with all of you as in Vaishnava and Vaishnavi group also. I will tell to Prempali Mataji to share. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Dandavat Pranam, all of you. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhuva evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki, His Grace Sham Kishore Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
अभी हो गया?
गर्म पानी रखना था सब जल वाला कर देते।
Thank you for this. Sorry, Prabhu, over time. It's not good actually.
भागवतम मतलब ओवर टाइम ही जाते हैं नहीं तो
आया क्वेश्चन, तुम इधर मंदिर में आए ही कैसे?